Trapping plays a very important role in modern-day wildlife management. Professional wildlife biologists monitor fur-bearer populations to maintain a healthy and sustainable harvest of this important, renewable natural resource. Trapping provides recreation and income for licensed trappers across this country. Who's Your Trapper Outdoors is brought to you by Who's Your Trapper Supply. J3 Outdoors, manufacturer of the Hag Bracket and Body Trap Spring Clip. Leatherwood Creek Trapping Scents, Who's Your Trapper Deer Scents, and Leatherwood Wildlife Art.
Okay, last episode of season 10.
Yep, episode 16.
Final episode. So, on this episode, we are going to show some highlights of the 2 trips that we took this season, which we'll be showing next season.
Right. That was a good one. There's some good stuff in there.
Yeah, there's some
exciting stuff too.
Yeah, there's some drama too. So, yeah, Kansas and Arkansas both, and then of course next season we'll also have our semi-live as well. So
right.
obviously we can't show you that, but we're going to show you some highlights from these past 2 trips.
Right.
So, I want to thank everybody for all the support over the season. And now both online, over the phone, here in the shop. After all, that's what keeps all this going, makes all this possible. So we truly appreciate that, and this is a small family business. So we more than appreciate all the support that you've given us. The photo contest is winding down, so we're going to accept entries until March 15th. Which is the deadline, and then we'll have the drawing for the gift certificates shortly after that. We always film that, and it'll be on Facebook and Instagram. So for those of you that want to watch that and see if your name's drawn, it'll be on there. Obviously, if you don't watch it and your name's drawn, we will contact you as well. But
right.
So I think that's about it. Next season starts on
August 4th.
August 4th.
We're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna give you the episodes as you head into the weekend. So we're going to be releasing on Thursday nights.
Instead of Friday mornings.
Yeah. So we're getting out there a little bit earlier for you. And hopefully that helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't forget about the Trap House podcast. And see if you can find us at one of the conventions this summer. We'll be around.
We will be in definitely Lawrence, Kansas for the FTA. And then in Lima, Ohio for the NTA.
Right.
And then we'll probably be at some smaller state conventions as well. So, to be honest, it is difficult for us to fit a lot of conventions in because of everything that we've got going on. Our taxidermy business is always busy as well. So, we do the best we can, but we will definitely be at the FTA and the NTA and 2 or 3 state conventions this fall. So, we're looking forward to seeing everybody. It's always a good time. Hopefully it's not too hot in Lawrence, Kansas. So last time we were there, it was very warm.
Yep.
So, anyways, that's a good convention. And Lawrence, the town of Lawrence, is a nice town. So, yeah, looking forward to that. So, got anything else you want to add?
I think that's it. That's been a crazy season, and enjoy the show. You got him, Charlie.
Yep. All right, so check day 9, still pulling traps. This location's really been good. Behind Justin, caught a bobcat. This set right here caught a bobcat. Then we caught a coyote today. So it's been a really good spot.
I was actually using Predator magnet and Top Dog and some Bobcat yarn on this set. So, I believe on the remake. So, anyways, take care of him. Still got a lot of traps to check. It's we started a lot earlier today. Our first sets we were checking, we were actually checking in the dark. We did not catch anything, so we didn't have to worry about filming in the dark. But that's what's going on, and we'll keep you posted.
All right, we're back out here after being cooped up in a hotel for a day and a half. The storm has passed through and the sun's coming out, it's starting to warm up, as you can see behind me here. Good thing we flipped our traps off, because there are a couple sets back down this lane that is now treed in with icicles. What do you think, Charlie?
Well, I'm getting ready to take a picture of it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough going for.
Yeah.
The thing is, those trees are small enough that when that melts off, they may still very well be bent over. You know, they're gonna spring back some, but some of them aren't coming back up. So.
Yeah. So that's a good call. We set all our traps off.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We would have been in big trouble.
We've really been fighting it. So.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right. An open hood on a trapping video obviously means bad sign. A little bit of smoke come out of there. I'm not sure if we blew the engine or what.
You got oil leaking all over the place. So it's pretty bad.
Yep. Oil everywhere. We've been holed up for 2 days trying to get through the weather. We're finally able to get out here and maneuver these roads. And we've been just trying to reset everything in this muck. And now this. So it's about as bad as it gets. We'll see if we can get someone to come out here and have to tow us, because it won't even go in gear.
Go down there, buddy.
Help has arrived. Oh my gosh.
2.5 hours later, help is here. So
AAA backed out on us.
AAA literally said we can't help you after an hour of waiting for them. So
Local tow truck guy took him a while to find us, but we're getting out of here. Hold on, before we begin, just look at that face. You can tell he is so excited about this one. We didn't have the cameras rolling when we pulled in, but we knew exactly what was going on. Nice deep catch on this bobcat right here. Looks like the tom. Then we got a climber over here. We were talking about this a day or two ago, about finally connecting on a double on bobcats. There was a time that we thought it's happened a couple times where it was close. It almost already did on that first cat, or the second cat we caught.
yeah, it was a day off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did it one time with a friend out in Kansas, but you couldn't, they were only 20 yards apart, but you couldn't see them in the same frame. But I mean, they were right on top of each other. But these are only, I don't know, 10 yards apart.
Pretty awesome.
It's very awesome. First time for everything.
Yep. Yeah, I'm back on the one that you caught, the second cat of the trip. My set had a big track in the bed, just didn't hit the pan. And I was pretty sure it was bobcat, but not for certain. But then the next day it showed up. Yep. So, you know, it's pretty cool.
Hey, this takes us up for eight for 8.
8 cats in 8 days.
Yeah. Today's
a great day. 3 cats on today so far. Still got a few traps left, not many, but still.
I mean, this road's perfect. It was kind of weird just coming up here in this dark. It's kind of dreary location. I don't know. It's just, you know, it's like, but it had to be good because it was so full of brush and And as you can see on both sides, it's pretty much wide open forest. So if cats were going to be around here, this is where they were going to come through for prey animals. So it sure made sense. But anyways, what a highlight.
Hags Trapping Products by J3 Outdoors, the most versatile and efficient trapping devices on the market.
All right. Check mark on my bucket list. Finally got a badger. Pretty cool. First time I've caught one personally. Hole's out here near the road. Very fresh digging, so we knew something active was going on, but you can't set the roadways, you know, so we had to make sure we were on the property. So I jumped the fence and set one back there. He's got it stretched out.
He didn't even do any digging.
No, might have just been caught this morning, I don't know.
Yeah.
But real pretty, good markings. Not as big as the one Charlie picked up earlier, but
Actually, that was just the last trap.
yeah, well, last
No,
trap.
well, no, I guess we checked 2 traps and then this
Okay.
is... So,
Almost back-to-back badger.
yeah.
Pretty awesome.
So last night was super mild. It was very warm. I think, I'm not sure. I'm not hardly a badger expert, but I do think they like milder weather. So
Yeah. Mike was saying they run a little bit better when it warms up during the day and stuff too. So cool.
congratulations.
Take care of him and get the remake. I'm gonna tan that one. That one's gonna hang in my man cave, you know.
Congratulations, Justin. All right, so these old homesteads, to me, they're really, I really like them, and they're fascinating. It's kind of fun to think about who lived here and their dreams that they had, and, you know, maybe why eventually they left it, you know, so lots of history right here. Anyways, they're great places to catch critters, because every pack rat, mouse, whatever is going to come in here and hang out. So there's lots of prey animals around here. So I set this corner up over here. Oh my gosh, that one's spotted all the way around.
Yep, it's got a good spot. Got the flagging working for you.
So this was a specific cat set. Had a trail coming out of the woods, had a trap. The trap was actually right here. And, you know, this wasn't a coyote set or anything. This was specifically for cats. So it's always cool when you catch a cat in a specific cat set, for sure. So anyways, pretty exciting. Beautiful cat. We'll get him taken care of and show you a little bit more of him. So.
All right, awfully windy out here, but gonna give you a little tour of the cabin we stayed in Kansas here. Go see what Charlie's up to. Ta-da! Nice and little cozy room. Got a double bunk over there. Couch, TV, fireplace, little kitchen area. Bathroom's down there with a shower. Then just this little side room with a couple beds. So.
Might mention Kansas has big deer, big whitetails.
Oh yeah.
There's another good one right there too.
A lot of turkey hunting going down around here. Decent crappie right there. Nice one. We sure did see a lot of deer on this trip. Mike's been representing for us. He's been staying in here.
Yeah, we did not put those on the windows. Mike did. So.
Yeah. Cool little place. We had a good time. Time to head home.
So just give reference, we're, what, 11, 12 miles from town.
We're basically 40 miles from a Walmart or a McDonald's.
Yeah. Yeah, we're out middle of nowhere.
Trapping has been a lifelong passion of mine. Back in 1976, I started Hoosier Trapper Supply, and we've had the privilege of serving trappers across this great country for all these years. We carry a complete line of traps and trapping equipment. You can check us out at HoosierTrapperSupply.com. All right, so I've got a skinned beaver here. Justin's already taken the tail off to make beaver oil with. But the castor is the high dollar part of the beavers now. And so if you look here, I mean, we got this glob right here. Here's their vent, and that's the castor, and then we got the oil sacs here. So this is actually it's been skinned for a little bit, so it's getting a little bit dry. So I use a scalpel, and you can use like any of the Weeby type knives, you know, with the replaceable blades. Those work great. We're just gonna open this up. And the castor itself, got this red membrane on top of it, but the castor itself, if you can see it, it's got kind of a gray, steel gray color to it. And once you get accustomed to doing this, you make a few cuts and you can get your fingers in there and just pull it out. But we want to try not to break the actual castor gland per se. See, there's the castor. And there's two here, and they are attached. See how that just pulls right out of there? It pulls off the membrane at the same time. All right, so we're just going to pull this out of here. This red membrane ideally needs to come off. So then that's just the castor there. I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. If you need to skin just a little bit on the red membrane to get it started. So you can clean the membrane off as you just pull the castor out. And if you need to do a little knife work while you're doing that, that's fine. But that just rolls out of there. So basically we've got a little bit of hang up right here. I'm gonna and you can see the two casters here. We're just going to cut right above them here, and that'll kind of hold them together in a pair. So that's the castor right there. And these are pretty clean. You can go through and pull some of that off of there if you want to. But that's pretty decent. So at this point, we use like a double piece of wire. So the wire is about an inch apart. So when you hang it on there to dry it, it's not touching like this where you got skin to skin. So you just put it on that piece of wire like that and let it dry. And then when it's about a week, and because you don't want to bone dry, you want it somewhat flexible. And at that point, just put it in a bag and put it in the freezer. So that's a good way to keep it. Now these right here are the oil sacs. And those you don't want to dry. You would want to put those in the freezer in a container, just a jar or something. And those are good attractant just by themselves, or you can put them in lure or whatever. Or certainly you can probably find a lure manufacturer that'll buy them from you. They're not worth near as much as castor, but they're worth worth saving. Some you can take that oil sack, and I'd separate them like this. And actually, you can make a little incision on them and actually squirt that onto for a beaver set. And they say that the trap shy beavers or whatever, it's a good way to catch them. It's because they don't. It's not a castor based smell. It's the oil smell. So that's it. Pretty simple and very valuable right now. And I'm assuming that it's probably going to stay valuable. So with beavers, the skin you can sell the skin, you can sell the castor, or use it. You can sell or use the oil sacks, and then a lot of places will actually buy the beaver meat. So the beaver's got quite a bit of value, and also the skull. A lot of times you can find a place to sell the beaver skull. So there's a lot of value in the byproduct of a beaver, and it'll probably add up to more than what the skin's worth with the present market. So definitely something you want to utilize all the beavers that you can. So it pays fairly well.
Top Dog Predator Bait. Success speaks for itself. Top Dog Predator Bait. Success speaks for itself.
Okay, Q&A. I've actually only got one, but it's a little one that we get asked periodically. So if you're trapping public ground, depending on the state that you're in, you may or may not be required to get a special permit to use that public ground. Most of the time it's free, or there's a $5 cost or whatever. They just want like a wildlife management user permit. So, and I think that's more than anything. It's just one they have an idea of how many people are using those properties. So, and that all depends on the state that you're in, whether it be national forest or state forest or whatever. And there's different rules that apply. So that's another area of getting areas to trap. The other is private ground and getting permission on private ground. And obviously you're going to work through. Probably initially you work through maybe people that you know, network out for that, maybe know some farmers or get to know some farmers, and then they're happy with what you've done in terms of controlling some issues, some predators or some raccoons or whatever, and then they'll tell their buddies, and it kind of networks off of that. So that works well too. Goes as far as going around and knocking on doors, especially in the market that we're in now. There's just not that many people out there doing that. Generally, farmers are open to giving permission unless there's somebody already there. I will tell you, back in the 70s and 80s, when everybody was out trapping, farmers, about the last thing they wanted to deal with somebody coming to their door and asking about trapping, coon hunting or whatever. They were over it. But that's a long time ago. It's not like that anymore. So most of them are open to it. Now, I'd be the first one to tell you, when you go and knock on a few doors and you get turned down, it gets kind of depressing and it takes the wind out of your sails. But you just got to push through it and just keep knocking on doors, and you'll get some permission. So you can work off of all the the Onyx apps and all that to find out, who owns what ground, how much ground they have. All that is available to you. Used to be you have to get the printed plat books and go that route, but all that stuff's available, through apps, and it really makes it easy. So that way you can selectively choose areas that you feel are good travel ways and good travel routes, and avoid properties that don't necessarily have that. So if you want to take it to a next level, the idea of having a little business card or something with your name and contact information on it is definitely a good idea. A lot of guys do that, that are actively pursuing increasing the ground that they have, or getting into areas where maybe people don't know who you are or whatever. That is definitely good. One fella had mentioned that he had a form made up, and the landowner would sign it, and he would sign it, and it was kind of like a legal, got a little more in the little more of a legal agreement that he was responsible for whatever occurred, and they could revoke his rights. And my opinion of that is you're probably getting a little in the weeds. I would try to keep it a lot more simple. Generally, people, when they start having to sign things and do all of that, it can make people a little less likely to do that. So I think I would stay away from that unless your state requires it. Sometimes you do have to have permission to be on private ground. Sometimes you don't, or most states you don't. So that kind of, I would be careful with that, I guess is how I'm going to put that. So here in Indiana, we actually have a law that protects the landowner. If somebody was on their property and they got hurt, they can't sue the landowner. The landowner gave them permission in good faith to trap or hunt or fish or whatever the case may be. They can't come back and go after the landowner. So that's kind of an area let me just put it like this. Just keep it as simple as possible. Ask permission. If you got a little business card you want to give them, that they know who you are, they know how to contact you, I think that's a good idea. So, and don't get discouraged when you're out there asking and you get turned down a few times. The other thing is, how when you approach a farmer, do you approach them when they're out in the field and they're busy, or do you approach them, when they're at home on an afternoon, or so you always got to kind of take that into account. Obviously, if they're sitting in the truck waiting for the combine to come back around, nothing wrong with that. Swing in and ask them. But you don't want to bother them when they're busy. Let me put it that way. So, anyways, I hope that helps. It's always good to try to line up some extra ground. You always think, well, maybe I need more ground, or maybe it's always, to me, it's always better to have a little more ground than what you actually need. And that is actually tough to get to that point. So anyways, I hope that helps.
Also, please follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, of course, YouTube. Subscribe, share, do all that good stuff to support us. And don't forget about the Trap House podcast. And we'll see you next time.